You can't defend, can you? Well, I've got you covered. This is 3 pro defending tips on how to defend in the bots in the AFC 24. Now, if you haven't yet subscribed, what are you doing? I'm hitting you with tutorials day in, day out throughout the year of the AFC, so be sure to hit the subscribe button. I'm trying to hit 100,000 subscribers by the end of 2024. Can we do it? Let's get into it. Now, this tutorial is going to be broken down into 3 complete segments. It's positioning inside the 18-yard bots, it's right stick switching inside the 18-yard bots, and it's the approach, back off, and approach technique. Now, when it comes to positioning inside the 18-yard bots, it really comes down to how you stabilize your defender. At the end of the day, what is the opponent attempting to do when he attempts to break down your defense in the bots? He is trying to make you commit to a certain side with your defender so that it opens up space and creates a shooting opportunity. But if you don't commit, if you keep your position, and if you stabilize your defender so much so that it doesn't give up any space or gap, then your opponent will have a lot of struggle when it comes to breaking you down. Now, how to do this? Well, you basically want to stand still with your defender. If your opponent is shimmying his body, attempting to break you down with his attacker, then you should be just attempting to keep your position, not be too aggressive on the left stick, and stabilize your defender. And when it comes to stabilizing a defender, it really comes down to stabilizing the left stick. If you're light on the left stick and you wait for your opponent to make an aggressive movement to the side, he might take a large touch after sprinting, he might perform an unnecessary skill move, or he might force the pass. That is when you be aggressive on the left stick to then intercept that ball. But in times when you're trying to read him, or at least keep your position, don't be aggressive on the left stick. Focus on keeping your position and wait for your opponent to make the mistake. Now, right stick switching inside the bots. When it comes to right stick switching, you need to practice switching between your centre backs and your wing backs. This is a big issue I see, and people are not good at this. You need to have the ability to switch in tight areas. The only way you can force yourself to get better at right stick switching and getting angles and being quicker at the switching is forcing yourself to switch with the right stick every single time you want to select a new player. If you need to, literally tape off the L1 button so that you do not use it. Only use the right stick to switch. And when you're around the bots, you want to essentially go where the opponent goes. Now, you can anticipate and be ahead of your opponent, which is more advanced, and you can do that by trying to read where his body shape is. If his body shape is facing a certain direction, that is a good indication that he will be passing towards that side or take the flow of play towards that direction. So if he turns a certain way, you can switch across to the centre back or to the wing back in anticipation that he will take the ball that way, and then you'll be a step ahead of your opponent. But really, that comes with practice. It comes with forcing yourself to use the right stick, and it comes from switching and practicing, switching between your defenders. And really, it falls in line with keeping the shape, because if you switch between your defenders, you will keep that defensive shape so that you don't give up the gaps or spaces necessary for your opponent to break you down. Last but not least, the approach, back off, and approach technique. Very, very, very effective for forcing your opponent to make a mistake when it comes to breaking you down, when it comes to defending in one-on-one situations. Because at the end of the day, when your opponent is in the bots or around the 18-yard bots area, you will be in a lot of one-on-one situations. And a good way to read your opponent and get the tackle in is to buy yourself time. So come off the hour, come off the technique, the approach, back off, and approach technique. What you want to do in defending one-on-one situations to buy yourself time and force your opponent to give the ball is approach him. You then want to back off with L2 and R2, and then approach him again with R2. When you approach him, you're holding R2. You then want to use L2 and R2 to back off, and then release L2 to approach again and get the tackle in. The back off in between this technique allows you to buy time. It allows you to read your opponent and see what he's going to do. Because the initial approach will sometimes and often force him to either make a pass away, which the threat is then gone, or he'll perform a skill move which will allow you to read that skill move to then get the tackle in. It's very, very effective, and you'll find this very useful. Now, if you want to get personal one-on-one coaching with me, you can. The link is down below. In my opinion, it's better than spending money on FIFA points, because at the end of the day, a better team is not going to make you a better player. It's how you use that team. It's your skill and ability as well as mentality that will improve your game and get you better results, which will get you better rewards to get a better team. So check that out. The link is down below, but I'm out. Sayonara, au revoir, adios, salam, ciao. Goodbye. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, then I'd really appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button. And lastly, if you do want any pre-gaming fuel or supplement, then head over to atpscience.com, which is the first link in the description, and use the code DylanEtsATP at checkout to get yourself a discount. Not only is it the cheapest way to get supplements, but it helps me out a ton, guys, so thank you.